Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your Human Design Evolution Report. The Sun is transiting in the gate 40 and the Earth is transiting in the gate 37, completing the channel of community and giving us the flavor of having willpower and emotional energy. So there's a lot of things to say about the quality of this energy. First of all, it is emotional in nature, which means we are in a cycle for the next 5-6 days where we're really going to be experiencing powerful emotional energy. This is tribal energy, so it's that energy that makes us do whatever we need to do to take care of our loved ones, to be present for our loved ones. It's kind of that irrational, throw your body in front of a bus for your children kind of energy. So really be aware that you may be triggered emotionally, particularly when you're looking at what's going on in the world, and you may feel this deep emotional sense of, what can I do to help the world? And that's actually a really powerful and beautiful energy, because it's an energy that ultimately drives us to create community and to redefine the kinds of agreements and bargains and deals that we make in the context of community, so that we can continue to move towards a deeper level of sustainability and a deeper expression of prosperity and abundance. So don't be surprised this week if you feel your heartstrings being pulled in response to the things that you see going on in the world or in your life, and that you feel compassion and a desire to help and to be of assistance. That's a great energy, and it's an energy that ultimately creates new ways of managing and allocating resources. And certainly in this time on the planet, the question of what do we need to do? We need to do, because the planet and the environment and global warming and sustainable resources and food and water and shelter, these are energies that ultimately are actually very equalizing energies, as we have seen this week in the flooding in Houston. You know, nature doesn't discriminate against you, whether you're rich or you're poor or you're black or you're white or you're male or you're female or whatever way your body and your spirit are showing up in this lifetime. Nature doesn't discriminate. When it rains, if you're in the wrong place, nature will allow you to experience the consequences of the shifts and changes. So these kinds of events, as tragic and as horrific as they are, give us, in a bigger picture, the opportunity for us to unify ourselves collectively to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to not only sustain ourselves, this is tribal energy, guys, but also to sustain each other. This is an energy that begs of us, how can I, as an individual, my ego, my will, serve the greater good and the sustenance of the world? But there's a really interesting kicker with this, and it's a really important piece to think about outside of the context of immediate tragedies and things that need to be managed in the world. In the bigger context of things, this is an energy that asks of us to become personally sustainable so that we can continue to do the work of the world to make the world sustainable. So you can't create something sustainable. You can't take care of the environment. You can't make sustainable choices. You can't sustain anything if you yourself are not sustainable. And for you to take the actions that you need to become sustainable so that you can go out and sustain yourself as you do the work of the world, you have to value yourself enough to say, okay, this individual expression of myself, this holographic representation of the divine that is me in this incarnation, it is so precious and so valuable that I need to do what I need to do to take care of myself so that I can then turn around and be able to take care of others. The energy of the 40th hexagram, which is half of this channel of community, this energy that's in our sun, is also one of the energies of aloneness in the chart. It's ironic and weird that community has contained within it the energy of aloneness, but it's in that pulling back, retreating, restoring, resting yourself so that your own personal resources are available to serve the community. It's in that retreat that you then have the capacity to do much more good than if you have martyred yourself or depleted yourself or gotten engaged in commitments and agreements that are codependent and deplete you of energy, if you're not sustained personally, if you don't understand the value of who you are and act accordingly, it's very difficult for you to enter into agreements that are healthy and sustainable in and of themselves. Think about it. If you make an agreement with someone and you're not really in a good space, you're going to eventually either bail on the agreement yourself, or you're going to feel deeply resentful of the other person if they're not giving you that oxygen that you yourself need so badly for you to stay vital and energized and dynamic and capable of giving. The other thing that comes up with this energy is that it's also a very spiritual energy. Willpower is a mystical energy. It is that place where we are differentiated as our personal selves, but it's also that place where we realize that our personal self is here to serve the world. And for us to be able to serve the world, we have to be supported. We have to also have the resources, and we have to be rested and restored. And we can't rest and restore ourselves if we don't trust that we are supported and sustained. So there's a spiritual challenge here of saying, okay, today I'm going to take what I need. And I'm not going to take more than I need. I am sustained. I'm sufficient. And I'm going to trust that tomorrow I will also have what I need. And the next day, and the next day, and the next. And I will act accordingly each and every day. And I will not hoard, or I will not pull back more resources than is necessary because I'm afraid that there's not going to be enough. I will share with the awareness that when I share, there's more than enough for everyone. It's an adventure in us to really tap into not only our own personal sustainability, but also really check in with yourself this week. How much do you trust Source? How much do you trust that you will be provided for by the universe? How willing are you to act on the awareness that you are sufficiently provided for and that you have the capacity to have access to all the resources you need to do what you came here to do, and all the resources you need to serve not only yourself, but the world? These are the questions we're grappling with this week with this energy. Pace yourself. Take care of yourself. Check in and make sure that you are in a good space with recognizing and owning the value and the preciousness of who you are. You are a once-in-a-lifetime event. There's no one else like you in this world. And you have the opportunity, by virtue of that unique differentiation that is you, to serve the world in the fullest expression of who you are. And you are designed, we are all hardwired to be fully supported in this endeavor. Take care of yourself. Do your homework. Ask yourself, how much do I trust Source? Am I willing to take a rest? Am I willing to take the respite necessary? Am I willing to not overwork, overburden, deplete, exhaust myself because I'm afraid there won't be enough? Am I willing to do what I need to do to sustain myself so that I can be a part of creating a sustainable world? Have a great week. Take care of yourself.